There is a small moment that many people experience at least once every month. It usually happens when they open their banking application or check their wallet after a few busy weeks. They look at the balance, and for a few seconds they stare at the screen quietly. Then a familiar question appears in their mind. Where did all the money go? The strange part is that most of the purchases did not feel dramatic. No luxury car, no expensive vacation, just normal daily spending. Food, transportation, subscriptions, small online purchases, and yet the money seems to disappear faster than expected. This experience is extremely common. It does not happen because people are careless. It often happens because people are not fully aware of how their money moves. Money flows quietly through daily life. It moves through digital payments, small purchases, and automatic deductions. Without noticing the pattern, it becomes easy to lose track. Imagine a man named Arjun. Arjun works hard at his job. His income is stable and his expenses appear reasonable. But every month he feels the same frustration. By the final week before salary day, his bank balance is always lower than expected. One evening he sits on his sofa with his phone in his hand. He opens his banking app and scrolls through his transaction history. The list feels long. Food deliveries, ride payments, online subscriptions, small shopping orders. He looks at the numbers and shakes his head slowly. I do not even remember buying half of these things, he says quietly. Arjun realizes something important in that moment. The problem is not only how much he spends. The problem is that he does not truly see his spending. This is where the habit of tracking money becomes powerful. But many people avoid tracking expenses because they imagine it will feel stressful. They imagine complicated spreadsheets, long calculations, strict budgets that remove all enjoyment from life. But tracking money does not have to feel like punishment. In fact, when done in a calm and simple way, it often reduces stress. The reason is simple. Clarity replaces uncertainty. Uncertainty creates anxiety. Clarity creates control. Think about it this way. If you walk through a dark room, every step feels uncertain. You move carefully because you cannot see what is around you. But the moment someone turns on the light, the room becomes easier to navigate. Tracking your money works like turning on that light. You see where your money is going. You understand your habits. And once you understand your habits, you can adjust them. Arjun decided to try something simple. Instead of creating a complex system, he started writing down every expense for 1 week. Every time he spent money, he opened a small note on his phone and wrote the amount and the reason. The first few days felt strange. He noticed purchases he usually ignored. A coffee on the way to work. A quick snack in the afternoon. A subscription payment he had forgotten about. None of these expenses felt large. But when he saw them written together, the pattern became visible. Money had been leaving his account through many small doors. Tracking money does not mean judging yourself for every purchase. It simply means observing. Observation leads to awareness. And awareness leads to better decisions. After 1 week of tracking his spending, Arjun felt something unexpected. Relief. Instead of wondering where his money disappeared, he could see exactly where it went. He realized that tracking money is similar to tracking time. If someone feels busy all day but does not know where their time went, they feel frustrated. But when they observe how their hours are used, patterns appear. Money behaves in the same way. Another reason tracking money often feels stressful is that people try to make the system perfect. They believe they must categorize every expense with extreme detail. But perfection is not necessary. Simplicity is more powerful. A small notebook, a simple note on your phone, a basic spending app. Any of these tools can work. What matters is consistency. Recording each expense takes only a few seconds. But those seconds create awareness that lasts much longer. There is also something psychological that happens when people track their spending. They pause. That pause changes behavior. Imagine standing at a store counter. You are about to make a purchase. If you know you will record the expense afterward, you naturally think for a moment. Do I really want this? Sometimes the answer will still be yes. And that is perfectly fine. Tracking money is not about removing enjoyment. It is about making conscious choices. A conscious purchase often feels better than an impulsive one, because you know exactly why you made that decision. A woman named Sophia discovered this idea during a difficult financial period in her life. Her income was limited, and she constantly felt worried about money. Every unexpected expense created stress. One evening, she decided to track every rupee she spent for an entire month. At first, she feared that seeing the numbers would make her feel worse. But something surprising happened. Instead of feeling worse, she began feeling calmer. She realized that many of her financial worries came from uncertainty. She did not know exactly how her money was being used. Tracking removed that uncertainty. By the end of the month, she could see her entire financial picture. Rent, groceries, transportation, entertainment, small daily purchases. Everything was visible. And with visibility came the ability to adjust. She did not need to eliminate everything she enjoyed. She simply reduced a few expenses that were not important to her. The result was balance. Tracking money also creates a powerful habit of reflection. At the end of each week, you can review your spending. Not with guilt, with curiosity. What surprised me this week? Which expenses brought real value? Which ones felt unnecessary? These questions gradually improve financial awareness. Another benefit of tracking every rupee is that it strengthens your relationship with money. Many people avoid looking at their finances because they feel uncomfortable. But avoidance often increases stress. When you begin observing your money regularly, the discomfort fades. Money becomes something you understand rather than something you fear. Imagine someone who exercises regularly. At first, exercise feels difficult, but over time, the body adapts. The activity becomes normal. Tracking money works in a similar way. The habit feels new at first, but after a few weeks, it becomes natural. You spend a few seconds recording each expense. Then you continue with your day. No stress, no pressure, just awareness. Arjun eventually noticed that tracking his spending changed his behavior without forcing him to follow strict rules. He naturally began making slightly better decisions. He cooked at home more often. He canceled a subscription he rarely used. He saved small amounts of money without feeling deprived. The same income suddenly felt more manageable. Not because he earned more, because he became aware. Tracking every rupee also creates confidence. When unexpected expenses appear, you understand your financial situation clearly. You know what you can adjust. You know where your money goes. Confidence replaces confusion, and that confidence makes financial decisions easier. The most important thing to remember is that tracking money is not about control in a harsh way. It is about understanding. Understanding your habits. Understanding your priorities. Understanding the path your money follows. Once you understand that path, you can guide it. So if you have ever opened your bank account and wondered where your money disappeared, try something simple. Track every rupee for 1 week. Do it calmly. Do it without judgment. Just observe. You may discover patterns you never noticed before. And those patterns can become the starting point for better financial clarity. Because when you see your money clearly, managing it becomes much easier. And financial peace often begins with something as simple as awareness.